We previewed it very briefly. If bones are your issue, and it may be you're in a family where that has been very, very important and issues with bone health has been prevalent in your lineage almost, in your history, how about considering this next one? Now, we're giving you lots of choices with Prime 50. Just to underline it, this is synergistic with the Today's Special Value.
Yes, absolutely. You know, you can take all the Prime 50 products together. I don't think many people will want all the product, but some may, and it's perfectly safe to do so.
You're almost custom making your own little programme.
Yes, that's right. Even though there are some overlap vitamins, that's not a problem. I'm well aware of the upper limit of vitamins and minerals. And I'm not a great fan of overdoses. I'm not a great fan of walking into shops and buying pure iron tablets, pure selenium tablets. I'm not into that because you can do yourself give yourself some real issues there. So I've avoided that. I've tried to do the science on behalf of the consumer because it is complex.
Now, it's never more complex than with bone strength. Tell us more about this one.
Bones are very important. It's part of our musculoskeletal health. So we can't stay energized or get around or stay mobile or independent unless your bone strength is reasonable. Now, unfortunately, with age, and there's a nice diagram here to show it, with age, we tend to lose bone density. The bone on the left is a normal bone, as you can see, and it has little holes in it. They're filled with protein or collagen, and that's a nice strong bone. The bone on the right, and that is a hip joint, by the way, is actually full of bigger holes. It's as simple as that, because the bone is starting to lose bone density or bone mass, and it's weaker.
What's that typical of, the one on the right? What age?
Oh, that can happen at any age, really. But typically, you will lose, quite a lot of bone density, especially after the age of, let's say, 50, 55. If you're a female, you enter the menopause, and that's when, estrogen can become much lower, and then you start to lose quite a lot of bone density. And that's really important, because you can't measure bone density as a consumer. You can in a hospital with a DEXA machine. Your GP can arrange for that. But most consumers have no idea if they've got a bone density problem. So it's important. If you look at the graph, not the actual image, but if you look at the graph, this is what happens as you age. If you just concentrate on the red line, because that's the female line, you've got age along the bottom, and then up the top, ignore the numbers, but it's basically, the higher up it is, the stronger the bone. So
peak is about 30, 35.
Peak's about 30. After 30, you don't really make any new bone. That's your maximum. But as you can see, females lose a lot of bone density at around the menopausal age, roughly between 50, 60, 65 or whatever.
Okay.
And that's when they have to be careful. But it's invisible. Nobody can feel whether they have a problem.
And the interesting thing with this is, you can see on the side, there's several of the ones that are in the Today's Special Value, but this is more targeted for bone density. You can see vitamin K in there, for instance, and this is £17 for 120 days supply. So if your ear's perked up at bone health, maybe get this one, even if you're not getting the Today's Special Value. But if you do want to get the both, then you can. So tell us more about the ingredients in this one.
Yes, I mean, it's obviously got good old vitamin D, because that's really important for bone health, but it's got 4 times the RDA, not just a little. But that's not an overdose. That is the required dose in order to make a claim, because it's been clinically proven that at that level of vitamin D that I'm using, it helps prevent falls in the over 60s. All right? That is clinically proven. And whether we like it or not, as we get a bit older, we do start falling around a little bit because our balance isn't quite as good. If you fall, you can obviously break a bone, especially if you've got low bone density, as the diagram showed a couple of minutes ago. So you have to be very, very careful. Vitamin K is also in there. Now, you won't find K in some of the cheapies. Vitamin K is a very expensive ingredient, and again, that's been proven to actually maintain bone strength, maintain healthy bones. There are other materials in there. Bone isn't just minerals like calcium, and of course we have about 1/4 of the RDA of calcium in there to help as well. But we have other things like boron. We've got magnesium, we've got zinc, because bones contain magnesium and zinc. And I can quote this from the diet studies I just talked about 5 minutes ago. I know that it's about 65% of females are deficient in magnesium. I think it's about 45, 50% are deficient in zinc. And it goes on and on and on. And if you're deficient in these things, including vitamin D as well, potentially you will lose bone density. and this product is there to help protect against that.
So specifically to help with bone health, it's only £17. This would be a regular price if you thought, well, I could maybe get the Today's Special Value and I could stock up, but then when I keep ordering it in the future, I'm not sure about the budget, even though it's only 22. This is 17 for good at the moment, at this price, with this offer, in this particular format. And again, you could stock up on this again 3 years?
Oh yes, 3-year shelf life, no problem at all. Very stable product indeed. As with the other product we just talked about, the TSV product, Prime 50 Fighting Fatigue, this also contains bioperin. This is a patented ingredient to help the aging gut, which doesn't absorb vitamins and minerals particularly well, to better absorb those minerals, e.g. calcium, magnesium, zinc, etc.
Yeah,
so the bioperin's key.
I must just quickly say, if you're watching this at another time, we're talking about 402016, which is the Prime 50 Fighting Fatigue, in whatever format you can find it on as well. So you should still be able to get that to go with it. And again, like you said, sorry, the bioperin's in there as well.
Yes, as are the organic minerals as well. This is where minerals become really important, because nearly all bone is mineral and protein. There's obviously no protein in there because you need a lot of protein, but in this product we concentrate on minerals, and therefore we have to make sure we get the minerals digested, absorbed into the gut. Otherwise they're just going to go straight through our system and do no good at all. So the bioperin is key, and also the fact that we're using very soluble minerals is also key as well.
It's quite frustrating in shows like this where, if you're just having a chat with someone, you can say, oh, what examples have you had? What can you say could maybe happen if you take these over a period of time? And obviously there are all sorts of rules and regulations about that. But if you want to go and do your own research and you see what's in here, the best thing I'd say to do is take a snapshot of what's in this and then compare what's out there. And remember that this is specifically for the 50 and overs, 50s, 60s, 70s and 80s. If you have a look at what some of the experts in their field have said, they say trust this company because it concentrates on the needs of the over 50s. And the needs of the over 50s, whether it's a doctor, a nutritionist, an expert, Christine Bailey, very renowned, very active on Twitter as well, author also, they know their stuff. They're saying, look at this brand because it's specifically formulated for the people that need it the most.
Yes, they've endorsed the brand, and Christine Bailey, top nutritionist, she was on Sky News a couple of days ago. We've got a dietitian on side as well who is absolutely sold on the formulations that we have.